We're in the middle of the sugya, and we're going to continue what we left off with yesterday, which was the shiur of pasaba b'kisnin that will require you to bench. So until now, we now know, I hope, a little bit of an idea of what is considered to be pasaba b'kisnin. We include everything that we make a Mezonons on, with the exception of pasta and lokshen and things like that, because that's boiled. We're talking about pasaba b'kisnin that is made from flour, baked in an oven with sweet ingredients, whether it's got pockets, whether it's kneaded in the dough, or whether it's crumbly and crunchy. All the three rishonim that we've spoken about a few times. That's got a din of a borei minei mezonus, and the reason for that is because no one's kaveh suda on it. So now the problem is, okay, very, very good. What happens if I am kaveh suda on it? What happens if I have enough pas haba b'kisnin, have enough chocolate cake, rogalach, pretzels, crackers, all of these things to be kaveh suda? What do I do now? So here's really the shaila, okay? And that's where it gets a little bit complicated. Again, Rabbi say, we are learning a complicated sugya. It's not a simple halacha. Obviously, I'm trying to get it as simple as we can, surface level. We can go on for days and days on every single one of these shurim that we're speaking about every day. We can give another 3 shurim on each share. However, we're just trying to get through the idea to understand it as we basically can, but know that it is complicated and you have to listen and hold cop. So basically, like this. This is our shaila. Our shaila is what is considered to be a kaveh suda, because Lamaisa, the Shulchan Aruch says very, very clearly, and this is clear from Shulchan Aruch. So this is even if you eat. Yesterday we discussed Mezonons rolls. We still have to discuss pizza, by the way. Maybe tomorrow we'll discuss pizza. We'll see. But Mezonons rolls, we said there's what to be soymech on for sure. The Chassidish poskim 100%. Now there is Mezonons rolls that you can make Mezonons on. Cake, pretzels, crackers. We all know we make Mezonons on that. But everyone agrees, and this is l'kulei alma across the board, whether you hold of the Shulchan Aruch, the Heilige Maran, or you hold of the Ramah, Mr. Brura, and everybody else, if you eat the amount that your kaveh suda, then you have to wash and bench according to everyone. So if you eat enough pretzels, and enough crackers, and enough chocolate cake, rogalach, all berekas, all of these things, so according to everyone, you will have to be kaveh suda, and you'll have to wash, hamoitzi, and bench afterwards. No shaila about it. What is considered to be kaveh suda? So the simple Shulchan Aruch is the amount that everyone and you are kaveh suda. Meaning, it's enough of amount that people eat for breakfast or lunch or supper, and that is what you're eating. If you eat that amount, that's considered to be kaveh suda, because everyone's kaveh suda, and everyone's full from that amount, that's for sure okay. What? Why don't we wash our lunch? Yeah. What do you mean?
Yesterday with the breakfast.
Yesterday with the bread. Okay, so 1 second. We're going to get there, one by one. Okay? So, right, is that clear? Shimon, are you with me? That should be clear. If you convey a suda... Very good, very good. But so far, so good. Before the questions, we're going to get to that. Lively, are you with me? Ben, score good? Simple, right? If you eat enough pretzels that a normal person would eat that amount to be full, you have to bench. You have to wash. That's poshut, right? We all knew this, right? Asher, you knew this already, right? Ruvain, you knew this already. This is poshut aleph base, right? You eat enough pretzels, you have to wash and bench. Who doesn't know that? Right, David, yeah? Okay, that's good. Gewaldig. Let's move on. Says the Heilige Chofetz Chaim. Okay? He says over here in the beginning, okay, this is Sivkot Nchov Dalet, by the way, for those people looking up, Simukuf Samaches. Okay, I'm reading this inside because this is so important. Dem ochloi levadoi, if you eat from the pasaba b'kisnin by itself, we'll discuss what if you don't. You have to eat enough pasaba b'kisnin that the most normal people are kaveh suda on that amount. Vim ochloi im basa dvarim achevim, we'll talk about that if you mitzaref with other things. But then the Mishnah Berurah continues. Listen to this. He says, "V'kosu kama achronim, v'huadim kan choshev b'zeh shik v'yasuda, aval kama achronim v'agom ekronim cholkim v'svilu de'ein avar chaboytze b'chaz amazon al shir suda kavua, shu erev v'boike." In other words, as we'll get to in a moment, the Vilna Gaon holds that you can only wash and bench if you have enough pasaba b'kisnin that most people are kaveh their breakfast, lunch, and supper on that. We'll get to that. Umi kol makoim lechatchila. I assume everybody here wants to be a lechatchila yid, and we live a lechatchila life, and we want a lechatchila place in Olam Haba, right, Eli? So we have to do what this says. What does it say? Don't eat arba beitzim of pasaba bekisnin, because then you're going to have problems. You're going to have problems with benching. So in other words, we've got two levels. We've got the level of pasaba bekisnin, that you're eating enough chocolate cake, rogalach, crackers, pretzels, that everyone would be stuffed from that. That rather everyone holds you have to wash. That's poshet. Then the level beyond that is dalad beitzim, that you should not, according to the Heilige Chofetz Chaim, eat dalad beitzim of pas haba bekistin. Rabbi Isai, let me ask you the question: how many Cheerios is dalad beitzim? And in order to know, when you count your cereal, how many Cheerios you're allowed to have in your bowl before you have to bench? No?
37.
How many is it?
About 37 and a half.
37 and a half. You made a calculation about that?
I just made a quick calculation.
Okay, so I made a slightly different calculation. Let me see if mine matches up to yours. Okay, so there's a Mogen Avraham and Simon Reish Yud Sikot and Beis. When the Mogen Avraham says, how do you evaluate, before we even get to Beitzim, how do you evaluate an egg? How do you evaluate a Beitza, right? So the Mogen Avraham and Reish Yud Sikot and Beis, Mishabur Tov Pei Vav, also in the beginning Sikot and Aleph, says that you always go with a Beitza Beinani, a middle-sized, medium egg, right? That's what the Mogen Avraham says. Reb Moshe Zatzal wrote that he said that since in America there are 5 grades, is this true nowadays as well? There are 5 grades of eggs. So Reb Moshe said the middle size is considered to be beinanis, so therefore, I think they call that large maybe, it's the middle size, and therefore that's considered to be a beitza beinanis. Now will that help you, Shimon, to make your calculation? Take a medium-sized egg in America, and use that one to calculate how many Cheerios, pretzels or crackers you have to be careful not to eat in order to get a shaila of benching. So Rabbi Say, I've done my research. In the Natural Egg Board of America, of the United States of America, the average large egg, including the shell, will displace 1.87 fluid ounces, which is 55 cubic centimeters. That is considered to be 1 beitza, okay? Which means 4 of those don't eat. How much is that?
A bowl of cereal.
So Rabbi, I made a bit of a calculation for the oilam. Okay, I did some scientific experiments at home just to see what, to give you some examples, okay? So basically, 4 rogalach. 4 normal size, not the little mini ones, the regular normal size when you go into a bakery and get a rogalach. 4 of those is dalad beitzim. That means according to the Heilige Chofetz Chaim, you eat more of that, you have a suffix if you have to bench. Okay? Next, Rabbi Isai, a cupcake, a regular size. Rabbi Isai, let's get back here, let's get all the examples. We've got a lot to do today. 2 regular normal size cupcakes. Regular normal cupcakes is considered to be dalad beitzim. That means if you eat more than that, you have a suffix, a birchas hamazon. Remember, birchas hamazon is a shalom v'daraisa. So therefore, you've got to be careful. The Mishnah says, lechatchila, don't eat more than that. You've got to be careful. Those little biscuits that people dip into the tea. What do they call them? They're like a rectangle one with like the little ridges at the end. They sell them here. No, not Lotus ones. What? They're called tea biscuits officially? They sell them in the packets of these long things. Okay, very good. How many of those, Rabbi Isai? 24 of those is dalad beitzim. 24 of those. 24 of those. Got to be careful. Next, Rabbi Isai. Oreo cookies.
Nice.
Not the double stuffing, the regular ones, normal. Okay. 20 of those is dalad beitzim. Be careful not to have more than 20. 20 of Oreo cookies.
How many Oreos are the same size as 2 cupcakes?
And when you crush it down, it comes the same. That's how it is. Cheerios. Rabbi said Cheerios. We made exact calculation of Cheerios. 480 Cheerios is dalad beitzim, and therefore do not have more than 480 Cheerios in your cereal. Pretzels. They say that there's the Rashiva of the Meir, Mezonons Bread, would never let any Chabur in the Meir learn Hilchas Brachas. It's because the owner would be hacking different chelakim, different Oreo cookies, and different. How do you make your cholent? You make it azoi, with barley, without barley, how much barley? The owner would be hacking azoi. So that's what someone told me in the Meir. Rosh Kol in the Meir once told me that the Rashiva of Mezonons Bread never allowed them to learn Brachas because otherwise the owner could just, that's how it is. Obelamai says it's very exciting and it's very, very negeya. Now, when it comes to pretzels, Rabbi Isai, small packet of pretzels, Leibi, Levi Yitzchak for the Yotzat, right? The little pretzels that you serve, right? So it's very nagaya, right? Now pretzels go. Just keep on going. You start, you just keep on going. You don't even notice that. While you're learning the Tosfos Havada, right? While you're going with, Hilchas Yain Nesach, you're just munching on pretzels. No. How many? The small little regular, normal, average size pretzels. 96. 96 of those is Dalad Beitzim. You have more of that, you have to Sophic benching. Okay? Yeah, I will take questions after because there's a lot to do today. Rabbi Sai, I've just gave you a few examples, but what this means is, according to the Heilige Chofetz Chaim, if you have more than that, you have a Sophic Birchas Hamazon, which is a Doraisa. Okay? Which means try not to have more than that amount. Now the problem is, and this is a big problem, Shimon asked this question before, people on the way to Koilel, you grab a couple of Danishes with a coffee, and off you go. That's how it goes. How come they don't bench? So you could say maybe the Amaratzim, I don't know, maybe they just don't know. But it's hard to say that no one knows the halacha. So what's pshat that they don't wash, they don't bench, they're not even choshesh for this halacha? Where does it come from? So I want to give the olam, because it's always good to be melamed chos on Klal Yisrael. We don't want to come over here and say Klal Yisrael are doing something wrong, chas v'shalom. Klal Yisrael are generally doing the right thing. There's a limud chos. What's the limud chos? And this is taka the mekidim that hold you can be more makel than everything we've been saying until now. And that is the Vilna Gaon himself that the Mishnah Berurah is quoting. The Vilna Gaon holds, which Be'ikah the Chofetz Chaim says we paskin like, holds there's no such thing as Gimel or Daled Beitzim. There's no such thing. Rather, Zug the Heilige Vilna Gaon, it depends on the Shei Kovei Suda. That means, if you're having the amount of Pas Haba B'Kisner, Rabbi said we're not discussing challah or bread. We're talking about chocolate cake, we're talking about rogalach, we're talking about Oreo cookies and pretzels and crackers. And you're having things that are Pas Haba B'Kisner. According to Vilna Gaon, it's not telling Gimel Daled Beitzim. It's telling you how much you and the Welt eat to be Kovei Suda. As long as you do not eat that share, then you don't have to bench. And you have no shaila whatsoever. So it's interesting. Lemaisa, that nowadays Rav Elyashiv and Rav Shlomo Zalman said that Bismanenu the share went down, and therefore they want to tie it even according to the Vilna Gaon. Rav Elyashiv and Rav Shlomo Zalman both said that it's called Daled Beitzim. That is the share of Kaviyah Suda. The minute they hold it, it's not really much of a heta. But there are those that hold that it will work because you have to have Kaviyah Suda, the amount of pretzels, crackers, whatever that people would actually eat as lunch, and it would be full, and that would be good enough. That's Limud Chos number one. We'll do questions after school. We got so much to get to. Head to number two. Limud Chos number two is the Heilige Aruch HaShulchan. And the Aruch HaShulchan, I looked for this Aruch HaShulchan for a long time because I met a Yid who does aeroplane meals. And he does aeroplane meals and he puts in there a little Mezonons roll. And it's always the shaila, right? Right? You open up after you manage to open up the kosher meal, and you finally get to your roll over there, and it says Mezonos. So I said to him, excuse me, Mamash, very chashvid. He finished Shas before he got married. And I said to him, excuse me, Reb Yid, I don't understand. How can you give a psak that it's a Mezonos over there when you're eating a ganze Suda? Right? You're eating a ganze Suda. So how can you say it's Mezonos? What's pshat? You'll be Kavei Suda. That is your Suda right now. What else are you eating? Seder. Unless you went to Essen before and you got one of those sandwiches. Just Seder, you know how it goes. He knows how it goes. But if you didn't manage to do that, right? Or Dixie's, whatever, Seder. You have to eat the plain meal. Reuven, right? Okay. I'm making everybody, it's got a few more weeks, what I say. A few more weeks, don't worry. Levi Yitzchak, a few more weeks to go there. Seder. Akaponim. So he told me a gavaldige zach, and he said to me a heta that Rapadva in England, Zatzal, paskin like, which I never understood until I stood the Aruch HaShulchan. And he says, you're not being kaveh on a plane. There's no such thing as kaveh sud on a plane. What does that mean? What does that mean? I remember hearing many times from my mashkiach Rabnoich Orlovik Shlita, he said that an aeroplane is not the pshat that it needs to get you somewhere. Avadu it also does, but you need to look at an aeroplane as a zman b'fnei atzmoi. It's a time, for example, if Shaimek Zatzal used to finish Mesachtas Nida every single time he went to America. Right? He used it as a mokum. It's a time that you could do so much. Right? It's like, I save certain things for the aeroplane. The only time I get is for certain things. It's the worst thing in the world when I meet someone on the plane. It's like, oh, I know who you are. I'm like, no. Put on my headphones. I'm like, nobody has to know who I am. Nobody see me. No one hear me. I don't have any music going on. I just put headphones on blank. This week, there's a guy who like he was sitting next to me. Oh, you're saying this on camera. No, he waits. He was like waiting for me to take it off. Like the whole plane. I just kept it on. I don't care if there's anything playing or not. Just like, don't talk to me. This is my time. Anyway, so what's pshat? You're not kaveh sud on a plane. What does that mean? Why are you not kaveh sud on a plane? So Zog Levi Yitzchak, mechaven to the Heilige Aruch HaShulchan. The Aruch HaShulchan is a gewaltige kula. He says, Zog the Heilige Aruch HaShulchan, Kavir Suda is when you're sitting at a table with your jacket on, like a mensch does. You sit down, like we mentioned when they asked Rav Elyashiv what bracha you make on schnitzel, he didn't understand the shaila. What bracha you make on a schnitzel? Nobody just eats a schnitzel. Nobody just goes into the yeshiva kitchen and just grabs a schnitzel as it's coming out freshly fried and says, I'm just going to eat a schnitzel. You sit down with a plate, with a fork, like a knife, like a normal yid, and you sit down and you eat. Nobody just grabs a schnitzel, you wash beforehand, whatever it is. Aber zog der Aruch HaShulchan, Kavir Suda means you're keveya. Keveya means sitting on the table. You're on an airplane, you're not being Keveya Suda. Right, the Aruch HaShulchan doesn't say the airplane, but that's how Rav Padva Zatzal took it, and that's a gewaldige limud schus. When you're taking that Danish and you're eating it in the car, in the way to whatever, you know. I remember I was once in, not once, a few times, but one time when I was in LA, and I think it was, I was in the car and I was, running from place to place, and I saw a very choshev yid, Reb Ari Ben Shushan, and he saw me as I was driving down and put down the car. How you doing? How's everything? He looked at the car, says to me, I remember that. You're driving, got the Danish next to you, you've got the coffee, you're running to the next appointment, whatever it is, you're running from place to place. I remember those days. So you're running from place to place, you're not being Kaveh Suda. So according to that, even if you're eating Dalal Beitzim, there's a heta for a person that's not being Kaveh Suda in that case, and therefore that will be one of the heter, Rabbi say. And that will be the heter on the plane. Now, Rabbi say one last thing. Okay, it looks like we have to continue this also tomorrow. There's so much. And that is, what?
According to that, I could eat and stretch that as well.
Theoretically, yeah. There would be a heter. Now, Rabbi say, next shaila, which we'll see if we get to today, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Are pasabah b'kistin mitztarif with other things? So, for example, if I eat crackers, not plain, I put tuna on it, I put whatever egg salad, I put whatever liver, herring, whatever you put on it, are the other things you eat mitztarif to the pasabah b'kistin, which basically means if on the plane I have a small little Mezonons roll, it's not going to fill me up. That's not Dalad Beitzim. Yeah, but you're also eating everything else they have as well. You go to a Kiddush and you have 3 or 4 crackers, but you also eat potato kegel, lokshen kegel, kanai nahara, right? You eat the ganze Sache, a bissel chulent, whatever they serve over there. So therefore, you're after the Kiddush, kanai nahara, you're stuffed. You're stuffed, but I only had 3 crackers. But the shaila is everything else you're eating going to be mitztaref to Kavir Suda? We'll discuss the mitzvah tomorrow. Ezra Hashem, have a wonderful day.